In the astronomical world, the biggest intrigue of the decade is gaining momentum, one that could overturn our understanding of life in the universe and make us wonder, what if we're not alone? What NASA specialists initially dismissed as simple geological deposits in the Martian crater Jezero, an ancient lake where waves splashed billions of years ago, has turned into a revolutionary breakthrough capable of proving that we're not alone in this infinite cosmic darkness. Soil samples collected by the Perseverance rover in September 2025 reveal secrets. These are chemical signs of microbial life dating back billions of years, when Mars was a warm oceanic world with rivers, lakes, and possibly even primitive forms of life struggling for survival under a red sky. The evidence is accumulating with relentless force, forcing scientists to rethink the history of the solar system and ask questions. Where did these traces come from? Were they born on Mars or brought by comets from other worlds? As one of the key signals of potential extraterrestrial biology, following hints of phosphine clouds on Venus and organics in Martian meteorites like ALH 84001. These findings stun with their complexity. The structures don't fit into the framework of random chemical reactions, as if adapted for survival in extreme conditions, with elements reminiscent of Earth's extremophiles from Antarctic ice or deep-sea volcanoes, but with an alien twist that sends chills down your spine. Scientists from the Jet Propulsion Laboratory, JPL, have calculated the chances of natural formation of such forms are minimal, as if the microbes arrived from other worlds, specially adapted for colonization, possibly through panspermia, an ancient cosmic seeding of life, where comets and asteroids spread seeds across the galaxy like space gardeners. Laboratory tests in October 2025 revealed how these structures ignore toxins in Martian soil with perfect precision, dodging destructive elements like perchlorates and ultraviolet radiation, hinting at built-in defense mechanisms, possibly based on genetic codes surpassing Earth's, with elements of silicon chemistry for greater resilience. And this makes you wonder, what if these traces are the ancestors of our own life? Imagine you're holding a sample from another planet in your hands, and it reveals secrets under the microscope. The key breakthrough came from leading astrobiologist from MIT, Sara Seager, who, after studying Perseverance data from September 10, 2025, identified anomalies. In the samples, bio-like networks form, reacting to light and heat, with the creation of protective layers that repel harmful substances. This isn't coincidence. These are barriers repelling radiation and acids, similar to biofilms of Earth's bacteria, but with heightened efficiency, as if evolved under a different sun, in conditions where every moment is a fight for survival. Further scans from September 12, when the rover was 500 meters from the sampling point, showed bioemissions, bursts of organics resembling regulated processes rather than chaotic decay, with the release of methane and other gases in controlled amounts that could alter the atmosphere of an entire planet. These emissions occur with rhythmicity, as if under the control of an internal clock mechanism, and scientists liken them to miniature engines for colony growth, allowing adaptation to changing conditions, from dust storms to icy nights. The thought that these traces move in response to threats, like living machines, this isn't fantasy, but data we're seeing in real time, and it forces us to rethink what it means to be alive, emphasizes Seager, adding that such structures could persist even in modern Martian subsurface water bodies, hidden under layers of ice, where pockets of life might still smolder. The CNSA agency, confirming similar signals from the Zhurong rover in November, added fuel to the fire. Faint pulses from samples, repeating like codes, possibly for exchange with other zones on Mars or even distant planets, with patterns reminiscent of binary sequences or fractal algorithms that could be the language of an ancient civilization. And now imagine, these traces aren't just chemistry, they hint at communication. The facts are on the table and they're inexorable. They scream that life in space isn't a myth, insists Seager. These forms employ strategies we're only developing in labs, creating shields that neutralize dangers, a typical approach for life preparing to meet outsiders, possibly even us Earthlings. Add the chemical profile. NASA recorded an excess of methane, amino acids, and silicon chains, ideal for the birth of biology, but without traces of Earth's impurities, distinguishing them from local analogs and hinting at extraterrestrial origin, possibly from comets like 2I/Borisov. Instead of a carbon base, hybrid molecules dominate here, like in synthetic materials, with rare isotopes not found in Earth samples, and it's as if the signature of an alien artist, as if the traces are pretending to be local, but gave themselves away by the absence of watermarkers. The basis for natural forms, and this makes you think about artificial design, that someone or something created them, notes an analyst from JPL. Spectra revealed greenish radiation, not from minerals, but from bioluminescence in the IR range, which pulsates in a rhythm matching Martian days, as if synchronized with planetary cycles, the SETI team noted. In 2025, over 40 biosignatures were registered on Mars, but these activated earlier than all, even before full analysis, with energy exceeding expectations from simple chemical reactions, and it's as if they were waiting for us. Similar glows were in Venusian samples in 2020, written off as gases. Now they suggest it's a network spread across the system, possibly linked to ancient comets or asteroids transferring life, and even to Earth. What if our oceans were seeded from there? Anomalies that don't fit natural explanations continue to multiply, forcing scientists to revise basic theories and ask questions that keep them up at night. Repeated perseverance tests stunned. The traces awaken speculations in simulators, launching metabolism models up to the imitation of a Martian day on October 15, 2025, with organic production in amounts sufficient for self-sustenance, like miniature factories building new worlds. They're rich in methane and amino acids, but dry as a desert, with molecules for seeding life in other environments, including potentially Earth's atmosphere, where they could cause mutations. The pulsations are rhythmic, like a machine cycle, with intervals corresponding to Mars' gravitational cycles, as if they sense the planet. They change shape without cause, avoiding traps, maneuvers that, according to Seager, are for adapting to changing pH or temperature, with a grace that can't be explained by chance. Colonies form networks with reverse branches, masquerading as minerals, with symmetrical patterns reminiscent of fractals in nature, but with artificial precision, as if designed by an engineer. In November, they explosively activated, generating energy beyond predictions from internal chemistry, possibly using peroxides as fuel, and this could explain the mysterious methane flares in the Martian atmosphere. SETI linked this to electromagnetic interference in labs, as if scanning Earth, analyzing our signals, with correlation between flares and Earth's radio waves, hinting at eavesdropping on humanity. And this makes you wonder, what if they already know more about us than we do about them? While you're following these revelations that could change history, join the discussion. Do you believe in interplanetary life, and where are you from? Or maybe you already know more than official sources and have seen something unusual in the sky. Share in the comments, your story could become part of this mystery. This isn't just cells, it's a system, organized like a network, ready for expansion, assures a NASA researcher. Their scale is microns, but behavior like a fleet coordinating actions to capture territory. Nature doesn't joke like that. This looks like a product of evolution under control, possibly ancient alien. Bioemissions are symmetrical, like stabilizers, with patterns repeating in different samples, as if a template for replication. They correct growth, bypassing toxins and radiation, explains Seager, adding that such mechanisms could be the basis for terraforming Mars, turning it into a new home for humanity. Moreover, astrobiologists recorded faint signals in a range close to cellular, during pulsations, data transmission. Unlikely coincidence. These impulses come on schedule, as if for connection with a mother colony somewhere in Mars' depths. In closed NASA reports, engineered cells are mentioned, which may be designed rather than natural, with a hint at ancient biotechnology, possibly from a civilization that vanished billions of years ago. Furthermore, speculations among conspiracy theorists point to these signals containing mathematical sequences similar to DNA codes or fractal numbers, possibly a universal language for first contact, or even instructions for replication that could infect Earth's laboratories. But discoveries are growing like cells in a favorable environment, and each new detail adds adrenaline. In December, lab photos showed networks with vortices, not modelable as natural, with curls reminiscent of DNA spirals, but on a macro scale, as if a giant genetic code written in dust. The network disappears and returns on a schedule, synchronized with Martian seasons, shared in scientific forums, suggesting its adaptive camouflage against scanning to avoid detection by Earthlings. The green tint is internal glow from the core, possibly from a biochemical reactor powering the colony with energy, and this glow intensifies in the dark, as if a signal for others. Microbes reached a peak in the simulator on November 30, testing systems, with emissions imitating breathing of the planet, and this could explain the mysterious Martian ghosts in old photos. Interesting fact: during the peak, Starlink satellites recorded temporary glitches in biomonitoring, coinciding with microbial activity. Possibly, according to conspiracy theorists, the colony is testing our infrastructure for vulnerabilities, or even trying to infect Earth systems, causing mutations in our laboratories. Everything is heading toward a climax that could change the history of humanity and make us look at the stars in a new way. At the end of 2025, JWST will complete key surveys of exoplanets, confirming life zones on multiple worlds, and this is an event you won't want to miss. It seems far away, but on cosmic scales, it's within arm's reach, with data coming in real time right into our telescopes. They're studying us through their atmospheres and signals, says Seager. This is standard procedure before first contact, checking reaction, civilization maturity. Biosignatures are a signal. We exist without threat, but with a hint of invitation to dialogue. And what if more? JWST data from April 2025 shows oxygen and methane on K2 to 18b, TRAPPIST-1e, and LHS 1140b, with technosignatures, lasers, waves, possibly from artificial sources, like giant antennas or cities under clouds. Seager sees a network, seeding life like the Martian microbes, with organics capable of infecting other systems, and this could explain why Earth is so rich in life. NASA models, signals could have infected our system, explaining mutations on Earth in recent months, from unusual bacteria in oceans to anomalies in soils, and this makes you wonder, are we already infected? Shocking. JWST fixes spraying of lines with technosignatures, including rare elements like technetium from nuclear processes, and it's as if traces of atomic engines. Technological panspermia, seeding codes across the galaxy, speculates Seager, adding that this could be part of an ancient plan for colonization. Hubble sees auras pulsating around exoplanets, not dust, a field, possibly protective or communicative, like a shield from cosmic threats. Reports. Signs of civilizations spreading across worlds with a hint of serial production of life, like a galaxy factory. The Japanese with Subaru found technetium from reactors, confirming artificiality, and this could be proof that out there, light years away, someone is building worlds. JWST is ready for deepening in 2026, with focus on Martian analogs and new exoplanets. But experts are confident enough for the truth. This isn't dust, not cells, a biosphere from the galaxy, possibly linked to Earth through ancient events, and this is a discovery that will change everything. Authorities are silent, but in chats, fact. Martian microbes and JWST signals first contact. It's here, and it can't be ignored. Are you ready for what's next? More December JWST data. Eruptions in exoplanet atmospheres, in cones, with symmetry like antennas, not volcanoes, transmitters, sending encoded messages possibly for us. Composition, rare isotopes, alien with a mix of organics for life. Signals disappear then, cipher, possibly to avoid detection. Hybrid engineers masquerading as nature, and this makes you think of a conspiracy. Anonymous, Pentagon hack, Project JWST, tracking, plans for probes to intercept, with mentions of secret missions to Mars and even to exoplanets. Debates are boiling, biological relic or network of civilizations. Seager for the latter, anomalies, color, activity, signals, technology, possibly ancient, and it's calling us. Signal trajectories are rare navigation. They knew the target, and it's us. Climax, signals study, echo from satellites with reflections like scanning. Observatories fix eclipses, invisibility, camouflage test, possibly for preparation for contact that's about to happen. We'll continue to follow the events, revealing new layers of this mystery that takes your breath away. Subscribe for updates and share your theories. Maybe you hold the key to the puzzle. And now imagine, what if the next signal comes right to you?